Hello again. In this video, I would like to address the question, can I add unlike terms? Unlike terms. And so we're going to go to an example of something that could happen in your life. You're 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 sitting there and you're sitting there for lunch, just you and your mom. Your dad's at work, and you look and notice that you notice that there's water leaking on the floor, and you're like, oh my goodness, well, where's this water coming from? So you open up the cabinet behind the sink, and you look around, and you see that there is some corrosion some corrosion at one of the valves, and you're thinking, oh man, actually it's at the pipe. It's the pipe before the valve. There's some corrosion, and it's coming out and just steadily dripping, and you're like, I have to put a bucket under it. And mom's like, oh no, we're gonna need a plumber. And you're thinking, well, I got this, mom. Don't you worry about it. I'll run the details by you here in a minute, but I'm gonna find a plumber for you because you're just outstanding like that. And you find you're tech savvy, so you go in, start looking up on the internet. You start looking up all these plumbers. You find ones with really good reviews. You call them up. You find out what their prices are, and then you run them past your mom, and your mom's like, hey, I think we should go with this guy. And you're like, okay, fine. And so let's say you talk to that plumber, and he said, listen, the one you're going to choose, he says $30 an hour is what I charge, and I charge just for me to come out. Just for me to come out, it's 20 bucks. So just make sure that you're really going to call me out, because I'm going to charge you 20 bucks right off the bat. He says, it sounds like a simple job, should take under an hour, but I'm going to charge you for the full hour. So the bill will probably be about $50. That's an estimate, right? So in other words, this expression right here tells you two things, or tells two things. It tells the plumber, right, how much he's going to make, and it tells, right, how much is going to go to the plumber, and then it tells you how much money is going to go bye-bye, right, to the plumber. So this expression, again, expressions help you make predictions, and this is going to it's going to help this guy predict how much he makes. It's going to help you predict how much you're going to spend, right? So the question is, first of all, are these are these like terms? Well, let's look. Well, we got two things. Well, we know terms are parts being added together, so there's one term and there's another term. But we want to know, are these like terms? So let's take a look. Are they like terms? Well, this term is a linear monomial, right? And this term is not. It's just a plain standalone number. And those are called constants. So this guy is a constant. Can I add a linear monomial? Can I add a linear monomial and a constant together? We know they're unlike terms. This constant does not have an x next to it. This guy does. So here we have a 30x, and they don't have the same variable. So they're unlike terms. Can we add them together? The short answer is, I don't even think there's much more I need to put than this. The answer is no. No. Why not, Mr. Moore? Why not, man? I'm a youth. I can do whatever I want. Sometimes, yes. But there are restrictions in life and in math as well. So let's look at that again. 30x plus 20, right? Well, my question would be, how would you add these together? How would you add them together? Would you take 30 and 20 and add them together and add those together. Well, let's see. 30 and 20 gives me 50x. Okay, I could try that way. I don't. That's not correct. That's actually not correct. But think about that. So you're saying that instead of using this model, you're just going to say, oh, it's $50 an hour. I'm going to spend $50 an hour. Well, let's say the job took 2 hours. In this case, with this model here, well, you work 2 hours, right? That means 60 bucks plus 20 bucks. It's 80. If you use your incorrect model here, and you work 2 hours. You work 2 hours. That means you spend $100. Oh no, you're paying the dude 20 bucks. You're paying this guy $20 extra, right? This is what he's charging, not $50 an hour. So don't add these two together because it's going to mess you up, right? Just common sense will tell us that. So no, we can't add those together. Well, let's try a different way of adding, because I've seen it happen before. Where students are like, hey, I'm going to add these together, these unlike terms. So let's erase this because it's kind of cluttered up. And I'll write the expression again. It was 30x plus 20. Sometimes what students will do is they'll say, oh, 30 plus 20, that's 50. That's 50. Now, let's say, again, we work 2 hours. We're working 2 hours. Or he works for 2 hours. We know that's 60 plus 20. 60 plus 20 is 80 bucks, right? 60 and 20 is $80. And you try to hand him a 50. You try to hand him a 50. You're like, here you go, buddy. Good work. And he looks at your 50 and he starts to go, you just looking around and then he's it's like getting louder because you owe him 80 bucks, right? This is what he's charging, not this. So because you miscalculated by adding these two unlike terms together, you made a grave mistake and an embarrassing one at that. So let's take a look here at that expression one more time. Let's identify all the operations. We have oops. I'm sorry. There we go. We have multiplication and we have addition, right? Multiplication, we have addition. Can I multiply this? No, 30 times x is 30x. The only thing else is add. Well, the only thing I can add together are like terms. Are these like terms? No. So unfortunately, I can't multiply, I can't add. There is no way to simplify this expression. This is as simple as it gets, right? This is as simple as it gets. So we just leave it. We just leave it alone and say, this is the expression that I'm going to use to predict how much I'm going to spend in plumbing costs. I hope this video was very helpful to you. Thanks again. Have a great day.